दुर्लभ गिरिवरधारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, Gora Haribol. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotarasta Shri Srimad 𝐿IKE Sabhai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotarasta Shri Srimad 𝐿IKE Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayang Mudire. So today we are reading from 10th canto, chapter 84, chapter entitled The Sages' Teachings at Kurukshetra. We'll be taking the verse 24 and 25. So we'll recite verse 24 first, and then verse 25 we will recite one by one. So verse 24 we'll recite together. Yatha sayanaha purusha atmanam gunatatvadrik nama matrendriya bhatam
न वेदरहितं परा एवं त्वा नाममात्रेषु विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो न वेद उपप्लवा एवं त्वा नाममात्रेषु विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो न वेद स्मृत्युपप्लवा एवं त्वा नाममात्रेषु विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो न वेद स्मृत्युपप्लवा. Just recite verse 25. एवं त्वा नाममात्रेषु विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो न वेद स्मृत्युपप्लवा. Vaishnavis. एवं त्वा नाममात्रेषु विषयेषु इन्द्रिये हया मायया बिभ्रमच्चित्तो न वेद स्मृत्युपप्लवा. Word to word translation, translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Yatha, as, sayanaha, sleeping, purushaha, a person, atmanam, himself, guna, secondary, tattva, of reality, drik, whose vision, nama, with names, matra, and forms, indriya, through his mind, abhatam, manifest, na beda, he doesn't know, rahitam, separate, param, rather, evam, similarly, tva, you, namamatreshu, having names and forms, visayeshu, in objects of material perception, indriya, of the senses, ihaya, by the activity, mayaya, because of the influence of your illusory energy, bibhramat, becoming bewildered, chittaha, whose consciousness, na veda, one doesn't know, smriti, of his memory, upaplava, due to the disruption. Translation. A sleeping person imagines an alternative reality for himself and seeing himself as having various names and forms forgets his waking identity, which is distinct from the dream. Similarly, the senses of one whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion perceive only the names and forms of material objects. Thus, such a person loses his memory and cannot know you. Purport. Just as a person's dream is a secondary reality created from the stock of his memories and desires, so this universe exists as the inferior creation of the Supreme Lord, in no real way separate from him. And just as the person who awakens from sleep experiences the higher reality of his waking life, so the Supreme Lord also has his distinct higher reality beyond everything we know of this world. In his own words from Bhagavad Gita, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abhyaktamurtinam mat sthani sarvabhutani na chaham teshu avasthitah. न च तत् न च मत् स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरं भूतभृत् न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः. By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everything, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Bhagavad Gita 9:4 and 5. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvyaśya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Meshwaram. Hare Krishna. So this is little philosophical verse, and because it is philosophical, I thought of either not explaining this verse, or if I have to explain this verse, I need some other supporting systems. So I have created this because it is technical, and if I start giving a technical pravochan, then all of you will sleep. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that this Siddhanta or philosophy is very, very important. सिद्धांत वलिया चित्ते ना कर आलस इहा हैते कृष्ण लागे सुदृढ़ मानस. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purports in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there are some Prakrita Sahajiyas who will see this type of Bhagavatam class and they will think, what nonsense is this? The goal of life is to dance with Radha and Krishna. And this is what? Reading, studying, making notes. How by making notes and studying and understanding you will attain Radha Krishna? It's an emotion. Radhe, Kanha. And Srila Prabhupada explains that such Prakriti Sahajiyas of Vrindavan, they even consider touching a book of the Goswami as taboo. You understand what is taboo? Or taboo? Or what it is called? How? Huh? Taboo. So they consider it as sin. Taboo means grievous sin. Aparad. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that if we really want to become Vaishnavas, if we really want to become true devotees of the Lord, we need to understand the right Siddhanta in the right way. Siddhanta Valiya Chitte. When in our Chitta, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego, the Siddhanta, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, Baliya, is strengthened, given nourishment. Siddhanta Valiya Chitte na kara alas. One should not be just like while drinking Complan or health drinks. One should not be alas because you'll grow up very nicely. While no one sleeps during eating. Yes, at least while eating pasta, no one will sleep. So no one sleeps because everyone knows this is enjoyable. And more than it is enjoyable, it is nourishing to the body. Not that every day we enjoy the rice, dal, sabji, chapati. We don't enjoy it. We enjoy pasta, pizza, and all those things, puchka, Gauranga food court. But though we don't enjoy, we know that it is nourishing to our body. So similarly, Kaviraj Goswami says, Siddhanta Valiya Chitte. It makes your chitta very strong. Siddhanta Valiya Chitte na kara alas. Just like you should not be alas while eating food because you know that it nourishes your body. Similarly, you should not be alas. Theek hai, now it's a technical verse. Theek hai. So you should not be alas or feeling despondent or feeling bored because of learning some philosophy. Iha haite Krishna lage sudrudha manas. Your mind will be fixed at the feet of Krishna only when you nourish your chitta, baliya, chitte, with right siddhanta. So here is a particular siddhanta which is mentioned in this verse, which is little complicated and technical. So we will try to explain this. Okay. So we will try to explain this in simple terms so that you can understand what it is. Okay, remove this too. Okay. So here there are two states of consciousness that is being explained, that is waking and dreaming. Dreaming, waking and dreaming. Okay. So actually in the scriptures, for the conditioned souls, there are three existence. So there are three existence. The first one is Jagrata. Jagrata is waking. I cannot say all of us are Jagrata. because the definition of scriptures of Jagrata is little bit different. Okay, but whatever it is, all of us. No, here it is getting. Okay, I have to write more bigger way. और इधर थोड़ा zoom कर दो. It's not visible. इसको थोड़ा zoom कर दो. Zoom. इसको zoom नहीं बोलते हैं. वो नहीं, पीछे वाला zoom. हाँ. वो zoom out. और पीछे करो. ओ पीछे नहीं कर सकते हैं जरा. ठीक है. You have to tolerate. हरे कृष्ण. जय श्री निताय गौरांग की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So, the first one is called the Jagrata. The second one is called Swapna. Okay, this is a nice idea. Who gave? You gave? Oh, you are Jagrata. All are sleeping. Uttishta Jagrata. You are awake. So Swapna, dreaming. And the third one is called Susupti or sleeping, slumber. Okay. So what is Jagrata? Jagrata is called waking up state. So now, who is, first of all, waking up state means the first question is who is awakened? So, the first question is, the soul is awakened, or the soul is sleeping, or the soul is actually experiencing these three states. Now, we will explain little bit of Jagrata so that you understand what is Jagrata. For example, like I'll explain, Sri Nitai Das is giving class. He is wearing a saffron dress. 10 new people have come to the class. No one knows Sri Nitai Das. किसी को भी पता नहीं कौन है श्री निताय दास. First person looks at Sri Nitai Das. माँ बाप को कितना कष्ट दिया होगा, छोड़ के आ गया. हाँ, बड़ा प्रवचन दे रहा. कितना कष्ट है, सबको हंसा रहा है. उधर माँ, बूढ़ा माँ, पिता का कौन ख्याल रख रहा है. Correct? So this is one conception of seeing Sri Nitai Das. But another conception is, भाषण मानने से कुछ होगा, भारत भाषण से बदलेगा, भारत को बदलने के लिए खटना पड़ेगा. सब छोड़ छाड़ के, नौकरी छोड़ के, आईआईटी छोड़ के क्या होगा. करेक्ट? This is another type of consciousness. The person is seeing Sri Nitai Das on the Vyasasan. One person is thinking about his parents. One person is thinking about Bharat. One person is thinking, आश्रम में खाना नहीं देते हैं, पतला हो गया है. खाली स्वामी जी भाषण दे दे के होगा, आपको एक्सरसाइज भी करना पड़ेगा स्वामी जी, प्राणायाम करना पड़ेगा, योग करना पड़ेगा. शरीर नहीं रहेगा, भजन कैसे करेंगे स्वामी जी, खींच के खाना पड़ेगा. आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस because these are the exact wordings I heard when I had gone to Gurgaon to be in Narsim Prabhu's place. One person came, he had very good biceps and all. ठीक नहीं है स्वामी जी, खींच के खाना पड़ेगा आपको. Right? And then another person says, क्या इंग्लिश बोलता है, कितना अच्छा इंग्लिश चबाता है. He speaks so good English, man. Right? So in this way, Sri Nitai Das is same. That means the object of the senses. Let us say if Sri Nitai Das is considered an object for the senses. Though all the 10 people, Sri Nitai Das, and this is Sri Nitai Das, and this is I, here, and so on and so forth. These are the eye, aankh, kaan. So 10 different people have come to the class of Sri Nitai Das, and 10 different people are hearing from Sri Nitai Das, and they are receiving the same inputs. Yes. Is it? It's not Sri Nitai Das is changing for the 10 people and he is giving a Dasavatar darshan. In one he is holding Sankha Chakra Gada Padma, in one who is holding Kamandalu and Kar like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Nitai Das is same. So that means the inputs to the gross senses of the 10 people, the eyes, all the 10 people have the same eyes. They have the cornea, they have the iris, they have the pupil. All these are eyes, eye elements. So all have the same eye, but they don't have the same eye. Correct? That means there is some eye which is different than this eye for everyone, which is different. Correct? Hai ki nahi? If everyone would see Sri Nitai Das as same, that means what? The eyes of everyone is same, and that is the only eye people are having. Correct? But if 10 different people are seeing 10 different ways Sri Nitai Das, that means ये जो आंख है 10 लोगों का same है, but still they are seeing differently. That means there is something beyond the gross eyes, and that's what scripture says is the subtle eye. So there is something called the Suksma Chakshu. This is called the Sthula Chakshu, and the inside one is called the Suksma Chakshu. And the Sukshma Chakshu is, just like we have heard that the mind is the director of all the senses. So when it is called the mind is the director of the 5 senses, it is said like this, in this perspective. Okay, हमारा माइंड भी ऐसे टेढ़ा है, सर्कल नहीं हुआ. It got automatically created just to tell my mind. So the mind is the director of the Suksma Chakshus. So all of us have the Suksma Chakshus, and the mind is using the Suksma Chakshu. Rather, in the Suksma Chakshu, what is being stored are different perceptions. And based on the perceptions stored in the Suksma Chakshu, we are seeing everyone. And that's how, if we are seeing, let us say, if someone is seeing Sri Nitai Das as very proud, that means what? What is the inference? What is the inference? What is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? In his Suksma Chakshu, the perception that is stored is pride. If someone is seeing Sri Nitai Das as not serving parents, that means what? In his Suksma Chakshu,
the perceptions that is primarily stored is to become a good son. That is the goal of life. And if someone is seeing Sri Nitai Das is speaking good English, the perception that is stored is how to go to America, how to clear IELTS and TOEFL and GRE. Correct? So, beyond the gross senses are the Suksma senses, and the mind is actually the director of these Suksma senses. So, in Jagrat Avastha, in our waking consciousness, when we are actually seeing, we are seeing everyone as different because we are seeing through the filters of our Suksma Chakshu. And then, so this is called Jagrat Avastha. In Jagrat Avastha, we use our gross senses to see, but if everyone just uses their gross senses, then world will become so monotonous. I remember in my ninth class, I was topper, and then there was the second topper. So the second topper ka rank घटने लग गया, like exponentially. In half yearly he was 5th, and then annual tak 11th पहुंच गया. And I was concerned, and I was to be least informed in the school, and later on I came to know that he fell in love with a girl. And as usual, from beginning I was always counseling. So I went and counseled. And I said, क्या देखा है उस लड़की में? सुंदर ही नहीं है. And that boy replies, अरे तुमको तो कोई लड़की सुंदर नहीं दिखता है. But on an absolute level, this boy was so infatuated by whatever you call the girl beautiful or not, and the whole class would say, ये लड़की बिल्कुल बद्धा है. And for this boy is the sweetheart. Correct? So the gross object may be same for 10 different people, but based on the perceptions that we have stored for lifetimes after lifetimes in our Suksma Chakshu, something looks bhala, something looks manda, something looks good, something looks bad. So now, when the second stage is Swapna, and the stage of Swapna is the gross senses server down. You understand what is called server down? Understand what is server down? Do you have to explain what is server down? You are typing a website and it is not opening, and all server down ho gaya. So the gross senses are down completely. But inside, actually, beyond the gross senses, in between there is an interface between the gross senses and the subtle senses, which is called the prana. Visible? Huh? उसको आप घुमा नहीं सकते पढ़ने के लिए. I can. So it is called the prana. That is the interface between the gross and the subtle senses. And in that prana, as a boundary, how many of you have experienced calcidioscope? How many of you have experienced? हाँ? ऐसे ऐसे बचपन में कितने लोग खेले? इतना कम? Others used to play in video games maybe. Video game is a modern version of calcidioscope only. मम्मी clouds दिख रहा है, मम्मी birds दिख रहा है. Correct? So just like calcidioscope has a mirror on the end, similarly the pranic mirror, in that mirror, in Swapna Avastha, whatever perceptions are stored already in the Suksma Chakshu, people are seeing. Someone who is a patriot, he is saying, now India has got the permanent seat finally in Security Council. And he is being selected to address the UN Security Council. And he's going, and there are photographs. Tick, 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 tick. So he's saying like that. Someone who is a lusty man, he's seeing the most beautiful actress coming and giving, "You are so handsome. I want to marry with you." So based on whatever perceptions are stored in the Suksma Chakshu, the soul sees a calcidoscope, sees a, this is called Swapna. Swapna is basically whatever everything is stored already. In Jagrat Avastha also we are seeing a Swapna. Because I am seeing Bhisma who is sitting behind, ahead of me with the same perceptions that is stored in my Suksma Chakshu, correct? If I asked Prabhuji, what is Yogesh to see Bhisma, he will see Bhisma differently than me. That means while waking up also I am sleeping. And in sleeping also I am sleeping and dreaming. Based on how I see Bhisma now, I will see Bhisma also inside my dream. So what we see in our dream is all the perceptions by which we are seeing the world around while we are awake. So this is called Swapna Avastha. And this Swapna Avastha, there are like these subtle senses. So there is the subtle senses, and every subtle senses have the sense devatas. In the third canto, there are the description of the sense devatas, who are the presiding features, presiding devatas of the Suksma Chakshus. And they will show you, oh, you desire a beautiful girl? Now you see in your dream the most beautiful girl. Oh, you desired a most best appraisal in your company? Now you see, you have got the appraisal. Everyone is clapping. You are able to understand? So the sense devatas, they create the suksma objects in the dream so that a person is perceiving the dream. And then when the person understands, oh, the Jagrat is also a dream and dream is also a dream. So then he comes to reality. That means I am different than my mind, than my body. So when he comes to this reality, then he thinks that I should come out of this dream. Right? But beyond that, beyond these two avastha, there is something called susupti. Susupti is deep sleep. Like we get anesthesia. Prabhupada says that when you get an anesthesia, how many of you have got anesthesia? At least for one organ. You find, nahi hai mera haath. Right? You find that hand is not there at all. So similarly, susupti means for the entire body is like an anesthetic state where we realize that we do not have body itself. So this is susupti. Now when a person realizes this, then a person starts following jnana or Sankhya Yoga. And Sankhya Yoga, the philosophy is that to tell everything is a dream. Dream, illusion, 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 gross illusion. Everything is illusion. So they see everything around as illusion, 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 illusion.
And they study how the world is illusion, the world is illusion, the world is illusion. And they store in their mind also illusion. So in the dream also they would be saying illusion, 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 illusion. And then they keep on seeing illusion, illusion, illusion. And finally, they understand that everything through jnana, they understand everything is illusion. And what is reality? That is what is, they don't have idea. So if everything is illusion, so for conditioned souls, Maya, as it is explained in this verse, if you see what Krishna is, what the sages are telling, similarly, the senses of one whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion. So for the conditioned souls, Maya puts them in one of the three states. But when a conditioned soul is following the Jnana Yoga, telling everything is illusion, everything is illusion, everything is illusion, and he is not ready to accept that there is some reality also, then the person, the soul, is put in something called spiritual susupti, which is called Turiya, which is the fourth state, where the person thinks everything is illusion and the person wants to merge in some deep slumber. Just like the doctor gives anesthesia to a aging patient, diseased or painful patient. Just like my hand is broken. So what will happen? If the hand is broken and it's paining, doctor puts a painkiller or an anesthesia. And then I realize that there is no hand only. Exactly in the same way, Krishna puts those souls who see everything is illusion, everything is illusion. They get so much pain in this material world, everything is illusion, illusion. Everything is illusion, everything is illusion. Then Krishna puts them anesthesia and puts them into sleep in the Brahmajyoti. Deep sleep. And that is called the Samadhi. These great jnanis or the yogis, they try to concentrate on the senses and they meditate. And finally, they try to reject or negate every reality just to attain a deep slumber-like state, which is like an anesthetic state, completely forgetting your entire existence. Because just like बहुत कष्ट दिया जाता है, तो क्या होता है? Sleep induce किया जाता है, correct? Just like sometimes a person is like mentally retarded. So when one is mentally retarded, he is given antidepressant medicines, correct? So that उसको जबरदस्ती सुलाया जाता है. So exactly in the same way, the Jnani's conception of liberation or nirvana is something like having susupti on a spiritual platform in the Brahmajyoti. And that is called the Turiya state or the Samadhi state, where I am not there, he is not there, no one is there, everything is not there, everything is just one. Right? So this is called the Turiya stage. This is the fourth stage which the Jnanis want to attain. That is the Turiya stage or the Samadhi state, where the super soul or Krishna, he puts the living entity in an anesthetic state on a spiritual level in Brahmajyoti. Right? This is explained in Brihad Bhagavatamrita in great detail when Gop Kumar goes to Brahmajyoti, Mahakalpur. So there is something called Mahakal Purusha. He's not a Purusha, he's sometimes as a Purusha, sometimes as a light. No one can say who is Mahakal. And in Brahmajyoti, he takes all these living entities who are so frustrated, they just don't want to look at the material universe.
But they don't want to also develop love for God. They just want to negate this existence because it is painful. They want to negate the relationship because it is painful. So Krishna puts them, as a doctor puts the patient into anesthesia. He gives anesthesia and puts them into deep slumber. And that's how the Samadhi attained by these uh, Gyanis are actually considered spiritual suicide. Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Kaivalyam narakayate. It is considered spiritual suicide because it is spiritually induced susupti, where the soul goes to the Brahma Jyoti and then he is completely in deep sleep. But in Brahma Jyoti, now we will come to the practical application. But in the Brahma Jyoti, the Gop Kumar is very, very fearful that I will also become like this. Mere ko bhi Bhagwan sula denge. Now he is awake. He is about to take rest, or he can take rest, or he is at least awake. And he is seeing everyone is sleeping. And he is fearful. At that moment, Gop Kumar hears Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Gopkumar sees a beautiful personality. It's explained in Brihad Bhagavatam, Karpura Gauram, Tridrisham Digambaram, Chandrardhamaulim, Lalitam Trishulina, Ganga Jalamna Amlana, Jatavalidhara, Bhasmangaragam, Ruchirasti Malinam, Karpura Gauram, Tridrisham Digambaram. He is Digambaram, matlab he is not wearing anything, he is completely naked. Karpura Gauram, his body is beautiful like Karpur. Karpur? Gauram. Huh? He is white in complexion. Chandrardha Mauli. Chandra Ardha, matlab Adha Chandra Mauli on the head. Lalitam Trisulinam. Sulana matlab त्रिशूल पकड़े हुए हैं. Ganga Jalamlana Jatavalidharam, and his jata is having Ganga Jal. Bhasmangaragam, Angaraga he is wearing Bhasma. Ruchira, बहुत सुंदर. Ruchira means very beautiful. Asthi Malinam, he is wearing bones mala, but it is looking very beautiful. Huh? Ruchira Asthi Malinam. And then for the first time Gokumar sees Lord Shiva performing Kirtan. So this is the only hope of the sleeping living entity. The living entity is sleeping in Jagrat stage, sleeping in waking stage, sleeping in Susupti stage, and sleeping in Samadhi state also. The soul is sleeping to his original reality. So all these four states are considered sleeping state only for Vaishnavas. So now we will go to the Vaishnav understanding of all these three states. So Vaishnavas considered all these states, all these four states only as sleeping. How? The Vaishnava says, Yaka Nava Navajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidram Ananta. Nidram, Yoga Nidra. So the Vaishnavas, they see that the entire material realm is just as a dream of Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu is actually sleeping. Yaha karana arnava. Arnava means Karana Sagar. Yaha, that is Vishnu, Karana arnava jale bhajati, enjoys yoga nidra. So Mahavishnu is enjoying his yoga nidra. And how do you enjoy a nidra? By seeing dream. Right? So in Yoga Nidra, Mahavishnu is enjoying the different dreams and he's projecting all the living entities into various states in the dream. Kisko gaadi chahiye? In the dream, he creates a gaadi. And they're like, oh, Mercedes! And then he runs. And in the dream, kisi ko nari chahiye? Beautiful lady. Oh! And he runs. Kisi ko body chahiye? Wonderful. Oh, beautiful, is running. So in the dream of Mahavishnu, he creates all these various facets, Srijati, with the Maya, with the help of Maya. He sees the dream. In the dream, he first creates the material energy. He takes Radharani within the dream and gives her a name, that is the Mahamaya. So the Mahamaya, the Yoga Maya projected within the dream of Mahavishnu is actually the Mahamaya. And in Mahamaya, through her help, karo, isko karo, usko karo, usko karo, and he creates, and all the living entities are like monkeys running after different sense objects. So the Vaishnavas understand all the three states, Jagrata, Susupti, and Swapna, all are sleeping for the soul, and even the spiritual Samadhi is also sleeping because the soul has not awakened to the reality. Jeev jago, Gaura Chandra bole, Kota nidra jao maya, Pisachira kole. So for the conditioned souls, Maya Pisachi is making the person lie down in sleep, and for the liberated souls who are so-called liberated, or the muktas, or the jnanis, Krishna himself make them sleep in the Brahma Jyoti. So that means all the four states people are sleeping only. And that's how the Vaishnavas, they attain the fourth state, which is called Turiya Titaha. Jiva Goswami or Baldev Vidyabhushan, they explain that Vaishnavas attain the fourth state, which is called Turiya Titaha or Samadhi Titaha. And Samadhi for Vaishnavas is not a state, it's a quality. So for Vaishnavas, it's not that one day we will obtain Samadhi. For Vaishnavas, Samadhi is not a state of existence, Samadhi is a quality of existence. So I'll explain through some examples. What is Vaishnav's understanding of Samadhi, which is beyond these three states that is mentioned here, Jagrata, Swapna and Susupti, that is Turyatita. How Samadhi is not a state, but it is a quality. So you recite one verse. Bikretu kama kilagopakanya murari pada pitachita vritti dadhyadikam mohavasada bocha govinda damo daramadhaveti. Bikretu kama kila gopakanya. So this gopi, one gopakanya, that is one gopi, bikretu kama, bechne ki आसक्ति रख के, having a desire to sell, Bikretu kama kila gopakanya murari padarpita. But his murari padarpita, his chitta, he's completely surrendered to Murari, that is Krishna. Dadhyadikam, he's supposed to tell, Dadi le lo, Makhan le lo, Moha vasat. Moha vasat matlab, he's in illusion, telling, Damodar le lo, Madhav le lo, Krishna le lo, Gaur Nitai le lo, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So, for Vaishnavas, Samadhi is the quality of existence, is the quality of doing every activity on all the three states. When a Vaishnava is Jagrat, he is actually in Samadhi, because he is in Samadhi thinking how to do the service nicely. When a Vaishnava is sleeping in Swapna, he is in Samadhi because he is thinking how to enhance the service to Krishna. And in Vaishnava is in Susupti, he is in deep slumber. He is completely thinking how I can improve my service to Krishna. So we need to understand Samadhi for all of us as Vaishnavas is a quality of existence. It's an absorption. Just like one day I'll tell a small story and then we'll end. One day Sachi Devi, mother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she came and told Biswamba, Nimai, yesterday morning, just before getting up, I saw a wonderful dream. And Nimai says, what did you see, mother? I saw that both of you, Nimai and Nityananda, they have become small boys and they have got naked and you are not wearing anything. And you are laughing, jiggling, giggling and running around my courtyard naked. And then you entered the deity room and you both of you brought the deities Krishna Balaram. And you were carrying Balaram and Nityananda was carrying Krishna. And when both of you were carrying, Krishna Balaram started shouting, you are cheaters, you are cheaters, you are imposters, you are thieves. We will bind you. You are eating all our sandesh. You are eating all our misti dahi. You are eating all everything. We will bind you. You are imposters. And then you said, and Nityananda said, Ki, you are the thieves. Gone are those days when the cowherds were eating sandesh and yogurt and makhan. Now it is the time of the Brahmanas. Now the Brahmanas will eat and the cowherd boys will just sleep. You are the imposters. And then Balaramji says to Nityananda, I threaten you on the name of Krishna. I will bind you. Nityananda says, I don't care for you. And by telling that, you pick up from the plate, the deity plate, the sandesh, the yogurt and start eating. And when you both of you started eating, then Krishna and Balaram started grabbing your hand, putting their hand on your mouth and taking it out and eating. And like that, all the boys were quarreling. But Krishna and Balaram, they are more powerful. They were eating everything. And then Nityananda started shouting, Ma, 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 I am hungry. I want rice. I want rice. And when Nityananda started shouting, my dream broke up. Nimai, can you explain what is this dream? And Biswamba starts laughing and says, Mother, never disclose this dream to anyone. This is a very special dream. Now I get convinced that the deities we have, Krishna Balaram, in our house, they are actually living deities. Lord is personally in our house. Previously, when I used to offer the bhoga, I used to offer 6 sandesh and I used to see there are 3 sandesh. And I used to wonder, what happened to the 3 sandesh? And I used to have doubt on your daughter-in-law that I think she is taking some of the sandesh from the deity plate. And Vishnupriya Devi is smiling, why I will steal. Now I am convinced that these deities are not deities. They are actually Krishna Balram eating the sandesh from my hand. But anyway, I think Nityananda is hungry. I should invite him for the lunch. You prepare, mother, and I will invite him for lunch. And then Lord Chaitanya goes to meet Nityananda in Shiva's Angan. And Nityananda Prabhu is, Lord Chaitanya says, Nitai, today you will come to my home for lunch, but there should be no mischief. No mischief in my home. And Nityanand says, Vishnu, I don't do mischief. Only when one does mischief can understand what is mischief. And it is you who does all the mischief. And then both Nitai and Nimai, they come to Sachi Mata's home and they start sitting down, and Sachi Mata starts serving Nimai, Nitai and Prasadam, and they're eating, and then in between Sachi Mata is bringing some rice. He sees that Nimai and Nitai, they have got transformed to again small Krishna Balram, naked and eating Prasadam. And when Sachi Devi sees this, she becomes so bewildered. She drops the rice. She starts weeping, and the rice falls down in the home, in the courtyard. All the rice particles fall on the body of Sachi Devi, and immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets up, Nityananda Prabhu gets up, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wakes up. Mother, did you see anything wrong? And immediately Sachi Devi goes to the room and starts crying, and Isan comes and try to wipe out all the rice that has fallen in the courtyard. So for Vaishnavas, Swapna, Susupti, Jagrati, all three are Samadhi. When we are absorbed in meditation, because Samadhi, before Samadhi is Dhyan. So when, for Vaishnavas, if we are absorbed, whether in our Jagrat Avastha or Swapna Avastha, how to enhance the quality of what service I am rendering. So if we are absorbed in that, we have already attained Samadhi. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he would see a bus, he would say, we can use this bus for our book distribution party. Just like Srila Prabhupada, in the dream he would say and get up and tell to his disciples how my movement will go on. So we need to understand that we should not think that we will one day attain Samadhi. Right now, here is an opportunity by Srila Prabhupada for all of us practicing devotees to attain Samadhi. And that Samadhi is an absorption, is a quality of existence. More and more we improve the quality of our service in the Jagrata stage, in the Swapna stage, more and more we will attain what is called Samadhi. Samadhi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we discussed the three states of existence, and we discussed how the soul is actually seeing through the subtle eyes, and through the subtle eyes, the soul is actually perceiving the things. And we discussed about what is Jagrata, what is Swapna, as explained in this verse, and what is Susupti. And then we explained how the Jnani yogis or the Ashtanga yogis, they want to negate the existence, and they think by negating the existence they will get Samadhi. But that Samadhi which they attain is the anesthetic state, which is called the Turiya state in the Brahma. Right? And that is also a sleeping state for Vaishnavas. Everything is sleeping because